What's going on, everyone? Hilo here, back again, and today we're finally talking about Pokemon XD because they finally added it back to a Nintendo console after 21 years. I think it was 2005. XD is finally returned. So this is my original copy. The cover, the weird thing about this is from GameStop when you buy a pre-owned game, and this was a few years ago before it was like hundreds of dollars. This is like the original cover. You can see it's reflective and everything. But this is not the original case. It's not a GameCube case. So I don't know how they had the original cover, but not a GameCube case. Like, how would that even... Unless the GameCube case they had was like really destroyed or something. Even the disc, like, it looks really cool. It's like red and black. The middle, I don't know what's going on. Runs perfectly fine, my Wii and GameCube. So let's get into the game. Okay, here we are at the main menu. As you can see, there is a side versus mode like Colloseum had, and I will talk more about that when we make the Colloseum video. This one's a little more lackluster, there's less little stuff to do. And the thing is, even though this is on Switch Online, and you could technically do a 2-player battle by game sharing it, the way this controls is you only use it through one controller, so it's technically multiplayer, but you could play with yourself against yourself, so... It's kind of weird. It's technically 2-player. If you had multiple Switches, through local, maybe to work like a Game Boy Advance? I have no idea. I'll have to test that or something. But anyway, here we are in the game. And this is a Gen 3 Pokemon game. So Dark type and Psychic type are special moves no matter what, even Bite. And certain types are only physical moves. So the biggest improvement from XD over Colloseum is this Purification Chamber, where you can put Pokemon in here that are already purified and have them be super effective against each other. So for example, if I put a fire that's super effective against grass, super effective against water, which is super effective against ground, which is super effective against fire, you make a quad thing and the flow is max, and it purifies the Pokemon as fast as it can be purified. So most of the Pokemon you can catch in this game are the ones that were not in Colloseum. So there's a lot of Gen 1 and a couple of Gen 2 and 3 ones. Most of the ones in Colloseum were Gen 2, so it's basically finishing off all the Pokemon you couldn't get, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, to complete the entire Pokedex within Gen 3. Since on the GameCube, like I showed in the video that I'll link here, you can transfer from the Game Boy Advance games to the GameCube and back and forth. Which is really cool. So even without being able to transfer, they give you in XD, it's a lot easier than Colloseum because it gives you a lot better Pokemon like throughout the whole game. There's a very wide variety of types and Pokemon that they give you. I mean, they even give you the 3 legendary birds, so that's at the very end. And Lugia, who's Shadow Lugia, and they purify him. No longer Shadow. So the team I had was my favorite Ampharos, of course. Espeon, my favorite evolution. I used Growlithe you get, Arcanine, which is really good, and Harry Mama, which was also good in Colloseum that they also give you. But overall, basically, I think by moving around you also purify faster than in Colloseum. Maybe that's a placebo effect, but it sure feels that way. But a lot of returning locations even have like different camera angles, just for easier maneuverability around the areas. But the Ore region is my favorite region, both in Colloseum and XD, just because I love all the locations and stuff you can go to. And this game also allows you to catch wild Pokemon, which you couldn't catch any in Colloseum, so there's that. But honestly, you're not going to be using the wild Pokemon because they're not as good as the shadow Pokemon you can get, so it's kind of whatever. I'm not really even sure why they're there, just to say that you can indeed catch wild Pokemon. Yes, whatever. Cool that they're there. Anyway, yeah, XD is my second favorite Pokemon game. Gen 3 is my favorite, in case you couldn't tell. And yeah, I'm pretty sure everything that was in Colloseum is here location-wise, except the Under Colloseum, because I believe this is 5 years after Colloseum, because it's a direct sequel, kind of like Black and White 2. So I think it collapsed, so that's why it's not here. And you're a different character. You're like a 12-year-old kid maybe in this. I don't actually know, but you're a kid. Something also interesting I noticed is you throw balls at wild Pokemon with your right hand, and you snag them with your left hand. I don't know why that's important, just something I noticed. But this is one of the new locations XD over Colloseum. Another thing is like character designs and art style is much more cartoony and less, I don't know, like edgy, I guess, compared to, what's it called? Colloseum, but I really like the art style of Colloseum. This one doesn't look bad at all. It's just in comparison, this is much more in line with regular Pokemon than Colloseum is. Colloseum is just a really cool looking game. Although all the locations that were from Colloseum that are in this game still look really cool. And most of the characters like him also look how they pretty much look normally. So I'll get into a battle and kind of show you what the game looks like. I also think this game ages really well, even when it's not in HD. It's in 900p on the Switch too. And it's portable now, which is really cool. It looks really good. It's just, it uses the stadium models for everything that was a Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon. For Gen 3 Pokemon, they had new models, and those models definitely look the best. Overall, Gen 2 and 3 ones look the best. The Gen 1 ones, you can mostly tell are designs from Stadium. They're very polygonal and don't look the greatest, but, you know, it gets the job done. They don't look terrible or anything like that, but yeah, I mean, another thing is the entire game is double battles. And double battles is my favorite form of battling Pokemon. It's what they use in competitive for a reason. It's much more strategic, interesting, and fun. Having to be able to catch Pokemon in battles is really fun. Taking them away from other trainers is really fun. There's just so many cool mechanics in Colloseum and XD that I just really, really love. And I'm glad people are finally able to play these games for the first time on the Switch 2 NSO and not spend hundreds of dollars to do so, because I don't want anyone to have to be able to do that just to play a game. Obviously there's emulators, but this is a more streamlined, easy way on official hardware to actually do that. But yeah, overall, I mean, what can I say? These games are very, very, very good, very fun. To purify every Pokemon in this game, I think it took me like 25 hours. You can definitely do it faster than that. To beat the main story would probably take like half the time of that, like 15-ish hours or something. But yeah, like the locations, character, and the story, even though XC's story is not as good as Colloseum, still very good and fun. And different from your regular Pokemon game. Like, if you go in expecting a regular Pokemon game, you will be entertained, because this is not a regular Pokemon game. You will be genuinely surprised. So yeah, overall, that's all I have to say in the game. Let me know if you've what you think of the game, if it's your first time playing it, if you've never played it, if it was really fun, or you thought it was weird, or whatever on XD. Just let me know what you think in the comments. Feel free to like this video. Stay tuned for my Colloseum video, because as much as I like this game, Colloseum is everything I love about this game, plus more. So stay tuned for that. I will make videos. I know I'm trying to get back to it in the groove, because it's been a long time. I think I never made one Resident Evil 4 and Village, so I'll do those. And I think GameCube games, there's a lot I want to do, like Shadow the Hedgehog, so I'll definitely do that when I get the chance. So stay tuned. I can't even speak anymore. For those videos, stay subscribed when you want to see those. Leave a like if you like videos like this, and I will catch you next time.